Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I bid to Madam Shamila and my fellow classmates. We are from Group 10, which consists of Najihah, Nur Aisha Shamina, Najwa Shazwani, and also Siti Zahara. Will make a presentation about the company we have chosen, that is Focus Point. So Focus Point Holdings Berhad is a company based on optical industries, and it is a leading brand in Malaysia for the past 30 years. Focus Point first opening was in Muar Johor, operated as a small store in a shopping mall. After nearly 15 years of operation, they decided to trade into a huge business company. The company's main operations are including trading of eyeglasses and eye care items, management of eye care centers, medical eye care services, retails of optical and also related products. Customers have a range of fashionable eyewear to choose from at the concept stores such as Focus Point, Focus Point Signature, Focus Point Concept Store, Focus Point Outlet, Whoosh, Opulence, iPhone, Solaris, and also iFocus. All of the information regarding the company's history was gained from an interview with Mr. David Yong, the manager of Focus Point. We also get all the information required to execute this assignment during the interview, as will be explained further in this presentation.
My name is Aisha Shamina, and I will explain about the organizational level of Focus Point. So for each of organization has a different organizational structure, and while they may have a similar organizational structure in industry, there will always be differences between company and organizational structure that will outline a clear hierarchy of position at different company. Next is the organizational chart. So for the organizational chart, it serves as a means of visual communication, and workers and other stakeholders can observe worker job description and reporting link within the organization using the organization chart, and it is a representation of the company culture. For example, the organization chart of Focus Point Board of Director. Next is the organizational structure Focus Point. Focus Point have a mixed structure organizational chart, and Focus Point use the functional and divisional organizational structure. So a functional organizational structure is start at the top with the highest ranking position and gradually move down. And each department work independently of the others, and the location of work is the functional organizational structure is based on their specific management functions such as financial department, operation department, marketing position, and so on. So for the divisional organizational structure, the divisional organizational structure is a sort of organizational structure that group product, services, market, and geographical location based on their similarity. So for example, Focus Point has outlet and franchises in several regions and countries, including Malaysia and Brunei. Next, we can diagnose of the organizational level. So for the organizational level, we will diagnose from three step or three level. First is the organizational level, second is the group level, and third is the individual level. So for the organizational level, the input system and the output stages will be examined and look in the organizational level. So first and foremost, the practitioner will want to examine the input which need an understanding of the overall environment and industry structure. Second, the organization must examine the internal system design like component which include the technology, policy, management, and so on. So at the end of the procedure, the goal or output will be achieved, and the performance, organizational efficiency, productivity also are the example of the output. For example, Focus Point need to know how to manage the organizational system that can be a benchmark, the success and the achievement that they have gained so far. Second is the group level. Group level will be the second level of diagnostic. A group is made up of people who work for a company. On this level, the emphasis would be mainly on the organizational design input. So this refers to how the organization is built to operate inside its overall structure with greater emphasis on its full scope. Task organization, goal orientation, team working, group dynamic, and norms are all important aspects of the internal system that must be observed. For example, focus point really take care about the workers do their job more effective, like they conducted training as refreshment classes to improve work quality and team effectiveness. Finally, the last space is on individual level. Individual jobs are designed to complete specific activity that must be complete through specific procedure. Individual characteristics can be used to identify people who are effective at their employment based on their degree of skill, competence, education, and experience. So when it comes to workplace, individual development level can play a role in self-direction, learning, and motivation.
Next, I will continue the presentation by explaining the issues and problems faced by Focus Point. There are two issues and two problems faced by Focus Point. The first one is issues of employees' participation. Employee participation become a problem when employees express their dissatisfaction with their involvement while at work. This issue grew much more serious once certain employees got disinterested in the divisions. One example stated by the management is that employees assigned to the marketing team do not publish the most recent information on a regular basis and do not make promotions on the website and social media platforms involved. The second one is problem in coordinating departments and management. The company is currently expanding its business branches in Singapore, Indonesia, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, and also Brunei. After the firm grew, the company's management became disjointed and unsystematic in the early phases. Existing departments in international branches are not organized since the number of personnel is not in accordance with the number of departments. They frequently get complaints about this from abroad branches, and then this simply proves that the scale of the international market produces difficulties in coordinating all departments and management in the company's abroad branches. The third one is problem of marketing. So Focus Point recently promoted a radio advertisement. However, people nowadays do not always listen to the radio. People prefer to spend their time on YouTube and TikTok rather than listening to radio broadcasts. Focus Point also had a newspaper advertisement which was necessary for advertising, and they no longer use newspaper advertisement. Furthermore, they also exclude magazine advertising from marketing support because people do not read magazines on a daily basis. The last one is poor feedback from employees. Based on our interviews, we discovered that the company does not conduct employee survey on a regular basis. Managers frequently receive negative feedback because employees need a platform to develop standards and a platform to voice their experience and challenges during work. Employees are unsatisfied with the company's salaries and also incentives. Their income and pay are stated to be disproportionate to their work. Furthermore, employees are dissatisfied with the working hours that have been established, particularly during the current pandemic.
Next, I will explain about recommendation on focus point intervention. First is employee involvement. Employee involvement is an employer's obligation to provide chances for employees to engage in activities implemented in the organization. The achievement of an organization is highly dependent on the level of employee involvement. Workers are measured as significant asset for any organization since they are driving strength toward reaching objective. According to the focus point manager, they have involved their employee in all division of work where some of them is involved in accounting, technical support, marketing, service and others. Employees can counsel on employee problem, insurance requirement and others problem involving to the procedure of the company. Second is team building. Team building purpose to form a well-work culture between director, supervisor and employees to accomplish outstanding output. Team building is a current and complicated process which they must learn how to work together for a mutual goal and share relevant information concerning the value of team operative for the purpose of creating extra effective technique of operating. Based on the focus point company, thing that they can do to create a great team building activity is to make volunteering as part of it. The worker have a chance to do something that benefits society. Employees can engage in voluntary activities that involve working as a team. Every year on the second Thursday in October, World Sight Day is celebrated. It is a day of awareness that brings global attention to blindness, visual impairment and the rehabilitation of the visually impaired. It is a global cause for improved sight. As a way of giving back to the community, Focus Point is devoted to assisting the cause of eye and vision care on this particular day each year. Third is restructuring the company. Business organizations should make modification in staff and subdivision. They can adjust how employees and subdivision report to each other to encounter market situation. More companies are shifting organization structure to enlarge and produce different subdivisions to serve a developing market. Focus Point is not only focusing on expanding their brand outlet in Asia but also international market. The first overseas outlet was opened in Brunei. As time passed by, the branches become broader until it covers Singapore, Indonesia, Cambodia, Thailand and Vietnam as Southeast Asian countries. The acceptance of this Malaysia brand was very high demand especially in Vietnam and Cambodia due to their economic growth. Therefore, Focus Point need to restructure their company to get the high productivity in the organization. Fourth is survey of feedback. The data is collected via a survey method. A comprehensive range of data is gathered on working condition, work quality, working hours, earning and salaries, and employee attitude related to the following aspect. A collection of information which mean the survey of the organization direct by superiors after being processed by superior will be given to manager or member to solve the problem. On the Focus Point situation, they have a lot of branch around Malaysia. All the branch have different type of working condition. Focus Point is a professional service brand. All the worker need to maintain the quality of work. All the working conditions are collected from all the workers of the company. Managers of Focus Point need to conduct meeting with their subordinate and discuss the information. They need to discuss better working condition for all the branches and make necessary changes. Then the procedure should be followed at all levels of management including all the employees of the Focus Point branch.
Next, the output of intervention recommendation. What the benefit to the organization? First, benefit of employee involvement. For managers and human resource aspect, the most typical component is developing employee involvement because management may make effective adjustments based on their input and proposals that benefit all participants in the organization. For example, the Focus Point management state that their employees are involved in all divisions of work, with some working in accounting, technical support, marketing and sales, and also among other things. Second, benefit of team building. Team building may help improve employee engagement and develop a strong company culture in a variety of ways. Working in a team exposes employees to the necessity of conducting group activity and can boost self-motivation so that each activity is complete, successful, and without friction between the employer and the employee. Third, benefit of structuring the company. Restructuring may entail resigning or changing responsibility within an organization in order to improve performance or embrace new technologies. The benefit of restructuring the company is to reduce the cost. For example, a Focus Point company is contracting on increasing their brand outlets not only in Malaysia but also in worldwide market, and Brunei was the first overseas location to launch. First, benefit of feedback survey. Managerial feedback survey provide various benefits, including enhanced productivity, the discovery of reasonable problem, and worker retention. This seems to be a significant link between employees' morale and increased production. For example, Focus Point Company, they have a large number of locations throughout Malaysia. Each brand has its own set of working conditions, and Focus Point Company is a brand of professional services. Next, about identifying the obstacle of change, the Focus Point Company. First, lack of communication. Workers' passion and loyalty to the company might struggle when employees don't have any open line of contact with one another and with management, and if they do not believe they are being listed. Poor communication creates a feeling of paranoia that causes of tension that is counterproductive to productivity, whereas a good communication generates a sense of stability and consistency. A second, lack of strategy direction. The company strategy is a set of instructions designed to assist a corporation in achieving a specific objective. These define and are an example of strategy as our particular marketing strategy for the launch of new items. Last but not least, lack of consistency during an organizational change for transition. Some communities, this one is unavoidable. Workers will first feel more burdened and they will discover the hard way that the new way of doing this thing, such as a new company software platform, is significant, more time consuming and complicated than the old one.
In conclusion, Focus Point Vision K Group is the leading optical retail chain store operating throughout Asia and listed on ACE market of Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad. With the overwhelming response and support, they have successfully expanded over 60 outlets across Malaysia and Brunei in a span of 7 years since the launching. Change always happens. The leader of the organization must be sensitive to changes that occur outside the organization that they lead and be able to take into account the impact of those changes that occur. All the issues and intervention must be taken into consideration for the better organizational development. Organization need the courage to make changes in the organization in order to improve the organizational ability to achieve the goals that have been set.